Who even understands a marriage this suffocating? I did all the housework for 10 years. I took care of my paralyzed mother-in-law. I worked late nights to cover all the family expenses. And in the end, I'm left with a broken body. Even my husband and daughter teamed up to look down on me. My mother-in-law has always played favorites. She gave millions in retirement savings to her other kids. But when it comes to me, all I get is taken for granted. Since being genuine won't get me genuine in return, then I'm just gonna completely check out. Only make money, not take care of the family anymore. On my mother-in-law's 70th birthday, she gave all her 186 pension to the eldest son. The third son, and me, who had taken care of her for 10 years, got nothing. In a fit of rage I flipped the table. Leftovers and soup were all over the floor. My husband Guo Jianhua couldn't believe it. Why are you acting like a crazy woman? Just because you didn't get any money, you're going to make the whole family miserable? Is money all you care about? Our daughter Linlin also got nothing. You always treat grandma badly anyway, and now you want a piece of the property? That's grandma's own money. She can give it to whoever she wants. You're an outsider. What right do you have to interfere with her freedom? The two of them stared at me. I was almost bursting with anger, but inside I was strangely calm. I'm an outsider? Fine. From today on, I won't deal with any family matters. You two can take care of the paralyzed mother-in-law from now on. Our daughter was stunned for a second. A flash of shock in her eyes, but it was quickly replaced by bigger anger. Mom, what are you doing? You're not a kid anymore, so don't throw a tantrum, okay? Today is Grandma's birthday. The eldest son's wife tried to smooth things over. Sister-in-law, don't be impulsive. It's Mom's right to give her money to whoever she wants. You can't stop taking care of Mom just because she didn't give you money. That would be really bad manners. The third sister chimed in. The money is Mom's. If she doesn't want to give it to you, there must be a reason. Instead of looking at yourself, you blame her for being biased. That's a bit hard to justify. With all the support, our daughter got cocky. She said, "Yeah, exactly. All you ever think about is money, money, money. You have no sense of decency or filial piety. Don't you think you're being too greedy? Were you only taking care of Grandma for her demolition payout?" Seeing my daughter so aggressive, I couldn't take it anymore. I slapped her across the face. "You ungrateful brat. How dare you talk to me like that?" Our daughter took the slap. The daughter got slapped. Covering her face and screaming, she hid behind the eldest brother's family. "No wonder my dad kept it from you. You showed your true colors as soon as you got the money. That's our Guo family's money. What business is it of yours how it's split?" The Guo family's. Instead of losing it, I laughed in anger, staring hard at Guo Jianhua. So he already knew his mom left him nothing. A flash of guilt crossed his face. But he changed the subject and went after Bailu. "You went way too far today. My mom is still an elder. And today is her 70th birthday. What's with all the yelling and tipping over the table?" Before I could say anything, he just picked up the phone and booked a private room. "Big brother, sister-in-law, I don't think dinner is happening here today. Let's go eat out." The eldest brother's family nodded with barely suppressed grins. My mother-in-law turned and warned me with a frown. "You stay home and think about what you've done. Look at the mess you made of this house. When I get back, you better have this place spotless." My daughter turned around and made a face at me, a hint of defiance in her eyes. This is the daughter I raised myself. Back when they found out she was a girl, my mother-in-law dumped the boiled red sugar eggs straight into the trash. When she left, she spat at my hospital bed. Had a money-losing daughter and still wanted my free-range eggs. Dream on. Now my daughter has become a true member of the Guo family. And I'm the outsider. Watching this family gang up on me, I suddenly felt it was all pointless. I yanked off my apron and tossed it aside. Starting today, I'll be an outsider too. Let those loving son and grandson play their roles. I stared blankly at the mess all over the floor. When my daughter was 8 years old, my mother-in-law came down with a health scare. The eldest brother whined about being broke, and the third sister wasn't married yet. So Guo Jianhua just brought his mom home. I knew he was kind-hearted, honest and simple. That's why I fell for him back then. And since I grew up in a great family atmosphere, I thought it was totally normal for couples to support each other and take care of the elders. But ever since my mother-in-law moved in, my daily chores doubled. I'd get up before 5:30 a.m. to shop and cook, clean the house, handle my mother-in-law's hygiene, and still take my daughter to school. Not enough sleep. So of course my mood isn't great. Especially when my husband's salary is fixed at $8,000 a month. And almost all of it goes to my mother-in-law's chronic illness. To keep my daughter's quality of life, and her tutoring fees from suffering, and Jiang Lai's tuition, and living expenses, I have to work overtime. But all that effort just makes me an outsider. I look at myself in the mirror. Sallow skin. Pale, lifeless lips. Graying hair. Wearing clearance clothes from last season. I'm only 40. Who would believe that? I felt lost and full of regret. Right then, I got a message from my boss. Go handle that Huakang project. I froze for a second. My hands shook a little. After a while, my boss messaged again. Wrong person. You're probably too busy. I replied almost instantly. I'm free. I can do it. They just sent a question mark. I've been with the company since the beginning. I know the business inside out. This project is no big deal for me. Thinking that, I immediately sent my boss a detailed rundown of everything I knew about the project and what to watch out for. My boss was still skeptical. This project means a 3-day business trip. Are you sure you really have time? Before, let alone a business trip, even leaving 10 minutes late, my mother-in-law would blow up my phone non-stop. To take care of the whole family, I gave up a lot of opportunities, thinking that I felt awful. I swore I wouldn't let my boss down. In the end, my boss gave in. You can give it a try. Seeing those 4 words, my heart finally settled. From now on, this outsider decided to live for herself. I immediately started packing. I haven't been on a business trip in a long time. I could tell I was kind of excited. Guo Jianhua called. I hung up right away. He wouldn't give up. Kept calling over and over. It was driving me crazy. I picked up with a frown. Why aren't you answering your phone? Did you clean up the house? Hearing that self-righteous voice, I was obviously annoyed. Just say what you need to say. Guo Jianhua cleared his throat, lowering his voice. Check the group chat. Everyone's talking about you. What you did this time was way too much. Today is different. It's not just Mom's birthday today, but also the first time my little sister is bringing her boyfriend home. Why'd you have to pull a stunt like that? Our family isn't that desperate yet. Besides, that's money for my mom's retirement. How could you go after it? I wasn't mad. I opened the group chat. Sure enough, everyone was tearing into me. Aunt Yao, causing such a scene over some money. How embarrassing. Uncle Biao, your wife is getting out of control. Why are you keeping her around? Then came the eldest daughter-in-law. It's all just a misunderstanding. Little sister-in-law already knows she was wrong. She's at home cleaning up. Third sister specifically tagged me. Sister-in-law, don't be upset. Mom just made a mess in the bathroom. Come over and clean it up. Daughter. Mom, come quick. Grandma, come here. Shan't stand the food at the hotel. She wants you to cook some beef congee and bring it over. Beef congee. My mother-in-law is picky, and her teeth aren't great either. But she still loves eating meat. And every time she refuses to use my meat grinder. It has to be chopped and minced by hand with a knife. She says it tastes more authentic. I thought, why is everyone calling me all of a sudden? Turns out they just want to boss me around again. Guo Jianhua was still rambling in my ear. See that? My sister even spoke up for you. Honestly, my mom hasn't had it easy either. You need to be more understanding of her. Oh, and my mom wants to eat. You cook the beef. Saying that, he stopped, like he was waiting for me to respond. When he saw I wasn't saying anything, Guo Jianhua couldn't help but call my name. Bai Lu? You hear me? Or do you have something to say? The phone was really noisy. I could barely hear my daughter's voice. Dad, tell Mom for me. If she comes over, Grandma's family will split some pension with her. She'll rush over without a second thought. Everyone burst out laughing. My daughter got even more excited. My mom's greedy by nature. She never passes up a chance to get something for free. Everyone laughed even harder. It broke my heart to hear that. Gripping the phone, I held back my anger. Pretending I didn't hear, I answered coldly. What would I have to say? She's your mom. You figure it out. Guo Jianhua was really satisfied hearing that. Good. Then it's up to you to show me. I hung up the phone. But my daughter's mocking kept echoing in my head. I'm greedy? If it weren't for my daughter's future tuition and living expenses, why would I even care about this money? But him? He turns around and makes me a joke in front of everyone. I couldn't take it. I pulled out my phone and typed in the group chat. Whoever's mom it is, they take care of her. I'm an outsider, so I'll stay out of it. If not, then fight for it. Whoever wants it, can take it. Oh, and Guo Lili, granddaughters can take care of grandma too. If you want to be filial, do it yourself. A moment later, the group chat exploded. I muted it right away. Guo Jianhua called me, but I blocked him. He wouldn't give up. He kept texting me. Why did you post that? Are you crazy? How could you say that? Do you know how mad my mom is right now? Come over right now and apologize to my mom. I also blocked him without thinking twice. Work is the most important thing to me now. I grabbed my luggage, locked the door without a second thought, and crashed at the high-speed rail station for the night. Early the next morning, I hopped on the first train to another city. I went to Huakong's factory and found the target client. After a few days of follow-up, the client cleared up their misunderstanding about our company. They were very satisfied with me, and even signed a contract for next quarter. On my way back with the contract, I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I was completely refreshed. Back in the office, the boss looked over the contract, looked up after a moment and praised me. Nice job. I knew. You had it in you. Maybe think about switching positions. You're really cut out for sales. If you put all the energy you spend at home into work, I guarantee within 3 months, you'll be top sales. But is everything okay at home now? My heart was racing. Looking back on these 3 days, I finally felt a real sense of achievement. If you just work hard, your performance will pay you back. But if you spend your salary on the family, nobody appreciates it. Instead, they think you're useless at everything. I calmed down my excitement, rubbed my hands together, and said, the kids are grown up now, so it's time I let go. Besides, I'm just an outsider. The boss smiled and nodded at me, motioning for me to go to HR and switch positions. After a busy day, I felt incredibly fulfilled. But when I got home, I didn't expect Guo Jianhua and the others were all still awake. The whole family was gathered around the couch, having a roast session about me. When they saw me come in, Guo Jianhua had a cold face, arms crossed, and said in a displeased tone, "You still know how to come back. Look at this house, what a mess." I looked around. It was clear someone had cleaned up, but it didn't stay that way for long. Housework is one of those things. Once you do it, no one notices how much you did. But if you don't do it, the place immediately looks like a mess. While changing my shoes, I was texting a client back. I walked straight toward the room without even looking up. Guo Jianhua finally lost it. He slammed the table hard. "Bai Lu, what do you think you're doing? Who said you could go on a business trip? Something this big like a business trip, why didn't you tell me? I think you should just quit your job. Stay home and take care of my mom. And our daughter too. Do you even know that while you were gone, our daughter didn't even change her clothes?" Guo Lili looked at me with blame all over her face. "Dad has been doing all the housework these last few days. You have no idea how hard he's working. He's a grown man having to take care of grandma. Grandma was crying yesterday. You made him so miserable. Can you please not do this anymore? You've embarrassed Dad more than once. Dad works so hard every day to support this family. Is that easy?" Hearing that, I stopped walking. I looked at the daughter I raised with so much hardship, the one I'd rather suffer myself than let down, and felt a chill deep in my heart. Did it ever cross her mind that her mother had lived like this for 10 years straight? Guo Jianhua only did chores for 3 days, and she's already feeling so sorry for him. But I cooked for him for 10 years, and took care of his mother for 10 years. And what did I get? Being called an outsider. Am I supposed to just deserve all this? Is it just my rightful duty? My face turned cold. I couldn't help the disgust I felt toward my own daughter. But she kept going. "Mom, let me tell you, A man like my dad, young, handsome and a good provider, is a hot commodity. If you don't treat him well, he'll divorce you. Once you lose him, you'll realize how good he was to you. You'll be sorry, just wait and see. Guo Jianhua cleared his throat, his tone like he was doing me a favor. Bai Lu. Go apologize to mom, and she'll let the whole thing slide. Go apologize to mom. I'll let what happened these past few days slide. Otherwise, I really think I need to seriously think about our relationship. I just went, oh. How exactly are you gonna think about it? Guo Jianhua frowned. Divorce. Then he stared at me, watching for my reaction. I let out a laugh. Fine. Let's get a divorce then. As soon as I said that, I felt a weight lift off me. Like a huge burden was finally gone. But a look of panic crept onto Guo Jianhua's face. Wait, no. I mean, what if I packed a big suitcase and headed for the door? Guo Jianhua rushed to stop me. Hold on. What are you doing? I laughed coldly. Didn't you say divorce? My daughter jumped out and grabbed his arm. Dad. Let him go. Once he gets divorced, he'll realize how ungrateful he really is. Dad. A guy like you who hands over his whole salary? He'll never find another one like that in his life. I kept my face blank. I grabbed my bags and pushed through the door. As the door shut, I could still hear my daughter trying to convince Guo Jianhua to set some rules for me. I never expected that the one who hurt me the most would be my daughter, who I raised with so much hardship. Since she already treats me like an outsider, why should I care about her? I cancelled my daughter's science tutoring class. I cancelled her nutrition meal plan. My balance suddenly looked a lot healthier. I also unbinded Guo Jianhua's salary card. And I cancelled the allowance I was giving him. Yeah. To outsiders, Guo Jianhua looks like he's the man. He doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, doesn't mess around. Most importantly, he hands over his whole salary. What they don't know is, he only makes 6,000 a month. After taxes it's 5,600. That 5,600 has to cover the mortgage, the car payments, insurance, and utilities, property fees, internet, gas, and all that other junk. It's barely enough. And forget about the fact that my mother-in-law is partially paralyzed. She also has high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and high cholesterol. And she's super picky about food. She won't eat unless it's good and expensive. Every month, I have to give my mother-in-law $3,000 to $5,000. And my daughter, don't even get me started. Food, clothes, housing, and transportation, that's the cheap stuff. Every month, just her tutoring fees are several thousand. I only get this by working overtime and staying up late. My daughter didn't say, it's her dear daddy. Hand over my salary to make money and support the family. Then let Guo Jianhua take on the burden of supporting the family all by himself. Didn't they say I'm an outsider? Then I'll be smart about it. Move out of his house as soon as possible. Didn't they say I'm unfilial? Then let them, father and daughter, be filial enough for both of us. I'll move near the company. My boss subtly suggested I keep up my appearance. After work, I actually went to the mall for once. Under the salesgirl's advice, I gritted my teeth and bought 2 outfits. Finally, I treated myself to the hot pot I'd been craving. I didn't expect such a luxurious day. Only cost me $800. It was still less than my daughter's 2 tutoring sessions combined. Looking back, I spent so much money, but all I raised was a daughter who only looks out for herself. I regret it. I regret not waking up sooner. I should focused on my career. In just 3 days, I landed 2 deals. Even my boss praised me for my potential. That night, my boss treated me to dinner. At the fancy French dinner table, my boss swirled her wine glass. See? In just a few days, you've already made almost what you used to make in a month. Us women, we should never give up on ourselves too early. For a woman, after 30, life is just beginning. After 40, life is really heating up. Plenty of women start fresh after 50. That meal got me all fired up. In the end, my boss gave me a gift. It was a Chanel entry-level bag. It was the first gift I'd gotten since getting married. I almost cried. My boss said meaningfully, "This is just the beginning. Keep up the good work. You deserve something even more expensive." I was stress-free without the family burden. But Guo Jianhua and his daughter were in chaos. After finishing all the work on Friday night, I finally had time to check the family group chat. Just as I expected, thousands of messages all criticizing me. I was about to read through them when I suddenly got a call from my mom. Originally, I didn't want to bother her with this. But as soon as I heard her worried voice, I couldn't help but cry. I told her the whole story from start to finish. My mom quickly comforted me. That same day, my dad and my brother, and my sister's family, all showed up at my place carrying bags. Mom started cursing as soon as she walked in. I said that Xiao Guo was stammering on the phone, beating around the bush, saying you caused his mom to fall and get hospitalized. Turns out they bullied you into leaving. That old lady was thirsty in the middle of the night and couldn't get water, so she fell down on her own. Even my dad, who's usually so easygoing, got mad. My daughter is not his slave. Did he yell at his own son? Why blame you? My brother and sister looked at me like they were blaming themselves too. You, seriously? All of us are right here. Why didn't you say something sooner? We wouldn't have let them bully you. Even though I'm over 40, hearing that, I still couldn't help but tear up. It's also because my family's atmosphere has always been great. So in my marriage, I assumed everyone thought the same way. I figured family members helping each other was just normal. But I never expected they wouldn't appreciate it, and instead just took my efforts for granted. The whole family sat down together. My brother and sister fought over who would cook. Finally, we got everything out in the open. That's when I found out that in the past few days since my mother-in-law got hurt and ended up in the hospital, they started bashing me in the group chat, saying it was all my fault for not being there. That's why she got hurt. They demanded I take full responsibility. But since I'd muted the group, and had also blocked their whole family in advance, they couldn't reach me. So in the end, they had Guo Jianhua contact my mom. But he never expected my whole family would have my back. Lulu, what are you thinking now? My sister asked, concern in her voice. I wiped my tears and said firmly, definitely divorce. My brother immediately offered to find me a lawyer. Good. My daughter is a law major. She can definitely recommend a good lawyer for you. No time to waste. The whole family immediately went with me to see a lawyer. I laid out my situation clearly for the lawyer. Guo Jianhua and I were college classmates. I liked that he was honest and hardworking, and willing to take on hardships. I also felt sorry that his parents played favorites and never gave him any help. I brought the pre-marriage apartment and the pre-marriage car. On our wedding day, I didn't take a single penny as a bride price. We were lying in the same bed. I told him, as long as we worked together as husband and wife, our life could get better and better. Who would have thought? I was the only one who wanted to make things work. Now, the car I had before marriage is already junked, and he got a new one. But there's no way I'm letting them take my pre-marriage house. My lawyer told me, this stuff is already mine. The law supports my rights. I felt relieved. I only want this. I don't want anything else, not even our daughter. Soon, the lawyer helped me draft a divorce agreement. I picked a time to deliver it. When he saw me come back, Guo Jianhua looked smug, then said in a magnanimous tone, since you're back, just settle down and live your life. Stop all this nonsense. I already brought mom home. She ate something bad yesterday, and seems a bit sick. Go clean her up. Mil's weak voice came from the balcony. Bailu. Bailu. Come, give me a bath quick. I haven't bathed in days. Haven't seen her in a few days. She was still wearing the same clothes I left her in. Full of stains. Soaked through at the bottom. Even through the balcony glass, there was a strong smell. No wonder Guo Jianhua put her on the balcony. I grabbed 2 tissues to cover my nose and mouth. My tone sarcastic. Why only focus on me? I'm not your only daughter-in-law. You got the eldest one. Plus, there's the third one. Mil got furious and yelled, only you're here now, so you have to take care of me. Hurry up, or I'll have my son divorce you. You're back, which means nobody wants you. So just get my bath water ready already. Even at this point, she still doesn't get it. I stayed calm, and just turned and left. I came to pack my stuff. Tell them to pack theirs, and drop off the divorce papers. It's not like I'm here to serve people. I was about to say something. My daughter ran out of her room. She glared at me with resentment. Mom, You actually remembered to come home. Why did you cancel my tutoring? Do you know how snobby that teacher was? Just because I dropped the class. He totally flipped out. He told me to leave, said I was disturbing the other students. And why did you freeze Dad's card? Have you no shame? This is Dad's salary card. You wouldn't even let him use it for Grandma's medical bills. How can you be so cruel? Where's the money? Give it back to my dad. My daughter lunged for my bag as she spoke. She immediately spotted the Chanel logo. Her eyes lit up. This bag must cost tens of thousands, right? Mom, how can you be so selfish? What gives you the right to use such an expensive bag? Dad works so hard for his money. And you just waste it like this. She tried to snatch it, unwilling to give up. I slapped her across the face. Guo Jianhua quickly stopped me. How could you hit your daughter? You're really going too far now. Is this bag really that expensive? You need to return it right now. Otherwise, we're getting a divorce. The woman seemed to think I came back because I had no other choice. Look at these two people. I saw nothing but pure selfish greed. I can't take it anymore. I quickly pulled out the divorce papers. You're dreaming. Didn't we already say we're getting divorced? This is the divorce agreement. Guo Jianhua. Sign your name on it. I'm letting you know. This house is my premarital property. Aside from the house, I don't want anything else. Guo Jianhua was stunned. A look of disbelief spread across his face. You really want a divorce? Seeing my cold expression, he finally got scared. No. If you divorce me, what am I supposed to do? I still have a business trip. This trip matters for my future promotion. I don't agree to the divorce. Lin, talk to your mom. If your mom really divorces me, who's gonna take care of your grandma? My daughter covered her face. Her eyes were full of resentment toward me. Just get divorced then. It's not like the world stops turning without him. Dad, why do you even care? Didn't you say aunt and aunt-in-law will come take care of grandma? Guo Jianhua felt guilty. Looks like our daughter still doesn't get it. If his aunt and aunt-in-law were really that filial, they would have come to see grandma by now. They just knew Guo Jianhua was soft-hearted and honest. Before I was silently covering for him. But now, screw it. He wants to be a good son, then let him. I'm done playing along. I let out a sarcastic laugh. I put the divorce papers on the table. Guo Jianhua, if you don't sign, I'll sue you. And don't think you can keep the house. I'm giving you 3 days. You and your whole family move out. Otherwise I've got my parents, my brother and sister. The whole family will come help you move. When Guo Jianhua heard that, his face went pale. No. You can't do this. It's about the demolition money, isn't it? I'll talk to my mom, get her to ease up. Can't she pitch in a little? He immediately turned around and asked his mom for money. The second that old lady heard the word money, her eyes went wide. She spat at him hard. You ungrateful bastard. Trying to scam your own mom now? I'll give my money to whoever I want. What's it to you? Letting you take care of me was already a favor. You think I actually need you? You're useless. Can't even control a woman. If she won't behave, why don't you just hit her? Guo Jianhua's face went red from being yelled at. He turned and buried his head in the bed, staring at me like crazy. I laughed coldly. Try hitting me, go ahead. Guo Jianhua held it in for a long time, then finally begged me not to divorce him. I pushed him off. You're just as useless as your mom said. I turned and left. Before I went, I gave my daughter one last piece of advice. Good luck taking care of yourself. 3 days later, Guo Jianhua still wouldn't sign the papers, and I didn't let him get away with it. Since he doesn't treat them like family, I don't have to be polite either. I handed over the whole divorce thing to my lawyer. I stopped dealing with it myself. Then I transferred the house deed to my brother. My brother and sister-in-law brought people to help Guo Jianhua move his mom and their stuff to his eldest brother's villa. Guo Jianhua argued it was a marital issue, a family matter. But when the cops saw the deed was in my brother's name, they couldn't call it a domestic dispute. Naturally, they ignored him. And the eldest brother played dead, refusing to open the door. The whole family slipped out from the basement garage that night and headed to Yunnan. Guo Jianhua took his mom to their third sister. Of course, she wouldn't let them in either. She just gave him 2,000 yuan, told him to stop bothering her. My mother-in-law's a neat freak, you know. Plus I have kids to take care of. I don't have time to look after him. Bro. Just tough it out. I know you're the most devoted. Guo Jianhua was furious. But there was nothing he could do. He had to pay for a rental out of his own pocket. He never made much money in the first place. He didn't have any savings over the years. All he could afford was a cheap self-built house. 2 rooms under 30 square feet. Dark as a dungeon, no daylight at all. He still had to work. So he left everything at home to his daughter, Guo Linlin, who was a senior in high school. Guo Linlin was always handing out sympathy to everyone. But when it was her turn to take care of him, she broke down. Senior year is already super busy. Not only did she have classes during the day, but at night she had to wipe her grandma's butt and clean up after her. Her deskmate complained she smelled. In front of everyone, she couldn't stop crying. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore and called me to vent. Mom, my deskmate won't even sit next to me. Nobody wants to sit by me. They all say I smell. I have to study during the day and take care of grandma at night. I don't even have time to do my own homework. Grandma keeps calling me in the middle of the night for water, a diaper change, or food. I have to make her porridge in the morning. I don't even have time to eat myself. How am I supposed to handle the college entrance exam like this? Listening to my daughter sob like that, my heart hurt too. All these years, I never let her suffer even a little. So I softened my tone. Then why don't you ask your uncle or aunt to help? But on the other end he pretended to be serious. His mother. Let's not talk about the past. Can you come back? I miss you so much. I was wrong. I admit I messed up. Can you come back and take care of grandma? If this keeps going, I won't be able to get into college at all. Do you really want to see me not get into college? I thought after he went through it himself, he'd finally know who was good to him. But I never expected that even though he knew how hard it was for me, he'd still try to talk me into coming back. Just to keep me working like a mule. I hung up the phone firmly. From then on, I put all my focus into work. I took great care of my clients. One client had a daughter preparing for the college entrance exam. I gave him the error notebook meant for his own daughter, and recommended a great, affordable tutor. In just 1 month, his daughter's grades improved a lot. He was really happy with me. Added a 3-year contract on top of that. Then the client's mom got sick. I pulled out all the stops like I was taking care of my own mother-in-law. I tended to the client's mom with extreme care. Got her to the hospital in time. Even the nurses praised me for being such a devoted caretaker. The client's mom was really touched. And the client couldn't stop complimenting me. Same kind of behavior. Taking care of the Guo family. And I became the obvious fool everyone took for granted. But when it came to work, I earned a highly loyal and steady client. Work never betrays me. But over at Guo Jianhua's place, it was total chaos. One afternoon, Guo Linlin showed up outside our office building with his backpack. Compared to 2 months ago, he looked a lot thinner. Mom, I'm craving your braised pork ribs. Between the lines, he wanted to come home and have me cook for him. I let out a sigh and took him to a roadside diner instead. My daughter scrunched up her face. You used to never let me eat at street restaurants. I opened my thermos, took a sip of goji berry and red date tea. True enough, most diners are greasy and not sanitary. No telling what kind of meat or veggies they use. No matter how busy I was, I'd rather work hard to improve my cooking and let my daughter eat my food than take the easy way out and let her eat out. But now, I just faintly smiled and said, "Didn't you used to love eating here?" My daughter pressed her lips together, looking totally wronged. Before I could say anything, he started complaining bitterly about Guo Jianhua, like a knife cutting through. Turns out, during this time, he couldn't take it anymore and applied to live at the school dorm. But Guo Jianhua wouldn't even pay the $800 for half a year's dorm fee. Forget about tutoring. He couldn't even guarantee his daily meal money. On top of that, his grandma kept needing medicine, hospital stays, and even demanded a paid caretaker, saying Guo Linlin wasn't taking care of her properly. His uncle wouldn't help. And his aunt went completely Maya. Wouldn't even answer his calls. I can't live like this another day. Mom, please come back. My face turned a little cold. Don't you see that your dad is just blindly filial? His own daughter's college entrance exam is right around the corner, and she needs to rest. But he won't even stand up to his brother and sister. That's blind filial piety. Running off on a work trip to dodge responsibility, that's called being irresponsible. Call him. Your own mother taught you. That's what we call outsourcings, your filial piety. My daughter clenched her fists and couldn't help defending herself. Dad is pitiful too. He just wanted grandma's approval. Mom, please come back. My daughter shrank back a little. Just hold on until I get into college, okay? Once I get into college, you'll be free. Looking at my daughter's innocent face, I felt completely disappointed inside. They say daughters can empathize with their mothers. I don't know what went wrong, but my daughter can only sympathize with her dad. I let out a cold laugh. Put down my chopsticks. Didn't eat a bite. I was so mad I was full. I yelled straight into the bushes next to me. Guo Jianhua, stop hiding and come out. From the very beginning, I had already seen Guo Jianhua. After all, from my daughter's school to my office, there's no direct bus. And no subway either. Plus my daughter has never been to my office before. So the only way is that Guo Jianhua brought her here. Guo Jianhua looked troubled. Bai Lu, don't blame our daughter. She just wants our family to be harmonious. Come back home. I'll hand over my paycheck again. From now on, we'll live well together. He reached out to grab me, and I slapped his hand away. I pointed at his nose and yelled, Guo Jianhua, stop using our daughter as a tool. Guo Lingling is an adult now. No different from a grown-up. She can tell right from wrong. Since she chose you, I'll go along with it. So stop coming to play the guilt card on me. When I say I want a divorce, I definitely mean it. I can drag this out. I grabbed my bag and walked out. But before I left, as a mother's final advice, I stopped in front of my daughter. You think I fought for grandma's money for myself? Go back and do the math carefully. See how much grandma has spent over the years. I just wanted a little bit back. To save for your college tuition. Looks like you don't need it after all. I didn't even look at him again. I took a detour on purpose, to make sure no one was following me. Before I went back to my apartment, I realized I was totally done being his cash cow. But Guo Jianhua refused to divorce me. I can afford to wait. I can afford to be patient. But Guo Jianhua couldn't afford to wait. Because his mom was back in the hospital. He finally gathered the courage and swallowed his pride. When he had no choice, he made his older brother and younger sister come to the hospital to play the filial card. But his mom didn't want her good kids to be wronged, so she directly called the tip-off hotline and caused trouble at Guo Jianhua's company, which got him fired. Guo Jianhua couldn't believe it. I only went to them because I had no money, and they wouldn't give me a single cent. You still have me to rely on, and you actually reported me. His mom rolled her eyes, but gritted her teeth. You don't have money, why not go ask Bai Lu for it? You two aren't divorced yet. So he has to take responsibility. The older brother and younger sister chimed in too, and were making a fuss about coming after me. If Bai Lu doesn't come back, we'll go find Guo Lingling. That's right. Right now, Guo Lingling is about to take the college entrance exam. I don't believe Bai Lu would just sit there and watch her own daughter fail. Guo Jianhua was shocked. Those people jumped right into action. They immediately had the mother-in-law film a video accusing her daughter-in-law of being unfilial. I was planning to fight back, but after waiting most of the day, I only saw over 500 views. Without a second thought, I took the evidence and went straight to the police. The mother-in-law's video got taken down. The older brother and younger sister got a warning. They nearly got held in custody and got fined $1,000. So, the older brother and younger sister set their sights on Guo Lingling. But the daughter was quick-witted. After filming the evidence, she went straight to court and submitted the expenses the mother-in-law had at home, demanding the older brother and younger sister split the cost of supporting her. That move shook the entire Guo family. Guo Jianhua, who had always bent over for his siblings, straightened up in front of his daughter. He immediately rushed to the school and slapped his daughter hard in public. The daughter called the cops right away. The daughter went straight to the police. In front of everyone, he tore down Guo Jianhua's fake act. You're such a filial son. Why don't you take care of grandma yourself? Why don't you ask your brother or sister to do it? You dump everything on my mom. Who are you to yell at me? You're unemployed. It's not like you don't have time. Why don't you take care of your own mom? I'm about to take the college entrance exam. Do you want me to stay home and take care of grandma? Or go take the exam? People saw what happened, and they all looked at him with contempt. Even the school teachers couldn't help but frown, telling Guo Jianhua to figure out what's more important. Guo Jianhua got burned, and didn't dare to touch his daughter again. He went home and saw his mom, so he had to take care of her himself. After just 1 week, Jianhua was complaining non-stop, because he didn't turn her over often. His mom got bed sores all over her body, and she kept screaming in pain. But at the same time, I had moved into a new house, bought a new car, and was on a yacht with my female boss clinking glasses to celebrate landing a big deal. In the photos, I no longer looked tired and messy like before. I looked full of energy. Guo Jianhua completely lost it. He realized that if his mom hadn't been so biased, maybe we'd still be a happy family of 3. That night, he sent me 3 words. I'm sorry. I heard about him again. A month later, after his brother and sister kept shutting him out, he purposely neglected his mom, and she passed away soon after. When I found out, I was shocked. I never thought he'd end it all in such a drastic way. After I got over the shock, I quickly got back to work, because as far as I'm concerned, life has already taken me down a different path. I've seen a different view. The past is in the past. 2 months later, the college entrance exam was over. I thought my daughter would blame me for what happened, but instead, she wrote me an apology letter. I guess people don't really know how much something hurts until it happens to them. I didn't write back, but she didn't give up. After she got into college, she sent me a photo of her acceptance letter, and said she'd rely on student loans and work study. I still didn't reply. I'll worry about that when it comes. The end.